It's modern, it's moody, and it's made of concrete. This glowing lantern adds the right vibe to any table or fireplace mantle. And today, I'll show you how I built it. From 3D printing the molds to a glowing concrete lantern. I'll walk you through every step, from design, casting, and that final reveal. Welcome back to Timber West Design, where we talk timber, shade structures, and outdoor living. The goals for this project were to create something clean, sculptural, and modern looking. Something that looks like decor even when it's turned off, but brings a soft, warm glow when the lights go down. It's a simple build with a big design payoff. Here are the supplies you're going to need for this project. Some Cementol cement mix. You'll need a scale to weigh out the water to Cementol ratio. You'll need a way to mix it. The drill mixer works really well. You're going to need some molds. This is one of 8 sections of molds for here. You'll need some mold release. After it's cast, you'll need some sandpaper, some spot putty. Then when it's time to paint, you'll need a primer. Depending on how you want to paint it, in this particular case, I used a black base and then a stone top coat. After that, I printed the light diffuser in PETG translucent. And then you need a light source. I got this from Bamboo Labs. I'll put a link to that into the description. So here's the part we're going to make. It's going to take 8 sections of molds. I added 3 degrees draft and split it to go both different directions. So we're going to have a corner piece here. We'll have the opposite piece here, and then on the bottom, and the second one on the bottom. So what you need to do is just make another half of these on the other side. For 8 total molds. We'll send this to the printer and get that machine going. It's always fun to see your ideas come to life, watching the 3D printer in action. There's just something satisfying about turning a digital sketch into a real-world object. My 3D printer has been very busy. There's lots of parts here. So the next step, we'll slide some of these off to the side. I got my mold release spray box. We take one section, we take canola oil spray, and we just spray it. Get a good coat, take your foam brush, and we'll just make sure everything's got a nice even coat on it. So I'll do that to all the parts, and then we'll start putting them all together. All right, let's just get the last few bolts snugged up, and we are ready to go. So what I did is, most of these corners on the flanges are curved except for the bottom. I purposely made those squared off just so it would sit flat and not be tippy. So let's get some concrete mixed up and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, here we go. Try to not make too big of a mess here. Just get it all poured in. Looking good so far. Now we're just about there. Okay, don't want it to the top of this lip. I want it to the inside edge, because it's going to be flush with that inside edge. Just tap it, make sure we got all the air out. I might overfill it slightly and then just tool that a little bit after it sets, but maybe just a little bit more. I don't want any low spots in there. Just about that much. Well, that's about all I got. So good amount of mix there. Just tap this thing and we should pull this in about 3 hours. See you then. While the concrete sets up, a quick reminder, at Timber West Design, we custom build timber pergolas and pavilions, and we ship them anywhere in the continental US. These aren't prefabbed kits. Every structure is made to order and designed to match your space. Head over to timberwestdesign.com, where you can set up a free consultation with me to design your ultimate outdoor space. Okay, the last bolt is coming off. So what we're going to do is I'll just pop a screwdriver in between the molds, and it should come off pretty easy. Yeah, it's coming off. You just got to work it a little bit. And there's the first one. There's the next one. Just kind of work the screwdriver around. Maybe a little bit on the inside. That one's off. Take our time. Okay, here's the next one. I put 3 degrees draft on here, so it should pull off nicely. I'm gonna put it up vertical now. Pop it this way. There's that one. There's that one. That one. One last one. And there we go. We'll give this a day or so to dry out, and we'll start sanding it and getting it ready for paint. So we let this dry out overnight. It's ready for sanding. So we have some parting lines where the molds meet. And I'm going to take some sandpaper and just make sure we're smooth to the touch. On the inside, you'll use some folded up sandpaper where it's not convenient for the block, and you can kind of get that smooth. So really just go around, feel everything, make sure it's all smooth, and we'll get it ready for the priming booth. So here's the primer coat we're going to put on. We're going to start off with light layers, go around the whole thing, just get a good light coverage, and then spin it around, hit that a second time, but much heavier, and then I'll let that flash off for a few minutes and then do a third heavy coat, and we'll see how that looks. The primer's dry. We have some flaws on here we just need to address, so just take some spot putty. I take a glove. You just put some spot putty in some of the voids. Some of the parting lines need some attention. Just wherever there's a little bit of a void. I'm going to use a textured paint, and that texture will hide some of the flaws, but we want to get the majority of them. So what we'll do is we'll just put a light film, fill the voids, and then I'll sand this all with 150 grit sandpaper. If I have some voids to address again, I'll put more spot putty in and sand it at 150 again, and then we'll get ready for paint. Here's the base layer for the color. We're going to spray this black paint. I'm going to do similar to the primer coat. We're going to do a light coat at first, just get a good cover on everything, come back and then do not too heavy, but just another covering coat just to make sure everything has good coverage. Here's the first layer of the stone paint. We'll do a light layer, cover everything, just look it over, make sure we've got good coverage. We'll let it flash off for about 30 minutes or so, and we'll come back to the second coat. Here's the second coat for the stone paint. We just want to make sure we're covering everything well. Just go around, spin it, look around, just one good light coat again. Doesn't take a ton of paint on this top coat, just make sure it's all covered, and I think we'll be good to go. I want to thank this week's sponsor, Pale Blue Batteries. You know, I like nice high-end flashlights, and you know what powers my flashlights? Pale Blue rechargeable batteries. What I like about them is I can take a power bank on the go. There's a USB-C port right on the battery. I can plug it in, charge on the go. Pale Blue batteries, they're awesome. Paint job's dry. I like it, turned out really good. This stone texture, just really like these finishes. So our next step is to install the light. So I have this puck light from Bamboo Labs. It's a USB power. You have these diffusers that you can just put on and screw on, and we'll place it in here, turn it on, and that's what it looks like. If you want to switch out to a different diffuser, you print another one. This goes on here like so, and it looks like that. So you have a few different choices, and on the website they actually have a couple more options. So you can kind of choose your different diffuser for just a different look and mood that you want to do. I think it turned out really good. There's just something satisfying about taking raw materials and turning it into something this refined. Whether it ends up on your table or outdoor patio, this little lantern brings a lot of atmosphere. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. There's a lot more fun projects coming. You don't want to miss them. And if you're interested in having a custom piece made for your home or business, whether it's a light like this or something totally unique, head over to my website at timberwestdesign.com, and we'll bring your idea to life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here at Timber West Design.